My name is Peter Fenton, and I live in Lakeland, Florida now. Originally, I was from New York and New Jersey, and after retirement, I retired 9 years ago from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and I got tired of being in the elements, mainly the snow and the rain and some hurricanes and things like that were coming through New Jersey. First time ever we started getting hurricanes and what have you. So my wife and I made a decision after COVID that we would come down to Florida and enjoy the balmy weather, no snow, and also some of the tax advantages of being in Florida. And so we came here in 2020 and purchased this home. We're very happy with this home. We ended up with a lot of equity from our first home in New Jersey, and the market was skyrocketing at the time, so we got a lot of equity out of the old house and came down here and purchased this house virtually almost free and clear. So we're real happy about that transaction.
Nice.
Initially, when we purchased this house, we noticed that even though the bones of the house were good, that the former owner, left some things in neglect. So we were on this campaign to try to upgrade the house over the last couple of years, and slowly we have been upgrading the house.
Okay. So where did you initially start upgrading?
We initially started in the guest bathroom. The guest bathroom had a lot of the the very cheap products that they use, some of the contractors, as far as the tub. The tub, we were used to steel or metal tubs, and it was sort of like a fiberglass and plastic, and it was starting to deteriorate. And some of the fixtures and all were kind of on the outs. So we started there, and we got West Shore to come in and actually do a complete remodeling of the bathroom, and that was our first project.
Were you satisfied with the project?
Yes, I was very happy with the amount of time that it took. That whole project was completed in just a day. And I didn't have to worry about contractors in and out over a period of a couple of days or a week. And it was simple, it was fast, and also I like the idea that the new bathroom shower walls had this new type of material that they use that mildew and all that kind of stuff wouldn't build up. So, I was tired of cleaning grout and all that kind of stuff. So I was real happy with the whole performance and the way the whole bathroom turned out. And then our next project that we thought that we would undertake would be upgrading the actual appearance of this kitchen here.
Which is the heart of the house.
Yes, and my wife spends a lot of time in here. She likes to cook and she likes to bake, and she also likes to do a lot of entertaining here with friends and family, and also in particular our 7 grandkids that are here in Florida as well. So when we first started talking about the upgrade of the kitchen, we didn't know where to begin. We had talked to some friends and some neighbors. Some people had suggested Home Depot or Lowe's. We got some real negative feedback from people about scheduling issues, dealing with third-party vendors who probably weren't licensed and insured. And we also talked to some people about some of the other suppliers of granite and quartz countertops. And we weren't comfortable with some of the competitors that you have in the area. So we looked hard and fast, and finally KB Countertops came up online, and we started doing some research. And one of the things we were impressed with was the 5-star reviews that you guys had.
Thank you.
Almost all of your customers gave you guys a approval rating of 5 stars, and that impressed me. And I always like to vet contractors before I allow them to do any work in my home, and make sure that they do what they say they're going to do, and make sure that they're licensed, and also that they're insured adequately. So, and KB met all those requirements. So when we found the number and the information online, I called Raj here, and he was very open and honest about come in, view what you need to view. We have samples on our floor, and let's sit down and look at things and see exactly what you want. We want you to be a happy and satisfied customer. And my wife and I went down, and the whole ball started that day. And it's been a wonderful and fantastic experience ever since that first day I met you, Raj.
Yeah, I think our transaction was very clear and upfront, and we went on to move for the job right away, right?
Oh,
Did not
absolutely.
take much time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you came up with the numbers and you got an idea from the pictures I sent you of the square footage of the granite counters and what it would take. And the numbers were there. And I was happy and impressed with the fact that I didn't just get a quote. I pretty much got a pretty good final, price.
Yeah.
I mean, with the square footage that you had to work with. I mean, of course you had to come and measure it and all that, but you were upfront about everything and what it entailed, the installation and the whole idea of, getting it all done within a reasonable amount of time. And I was very happy with that. My wife in particular was very happy about that as well.
True. What made you choose this particular material?
Well, we decided to go with the granite versus the quartz because our understanding is that the quartz sometimes can be damaged, by either heat or just cracking and that type of thing. And this was a natural stone. You explained that to my wife and I, and we decided to go with this granite. And my wife wanted a very light colored type of granite. She didn't want, a lot of people prefer the dark granite, and it would make this kitchen look smaller and this house look even darker with this dark paint in here that we're gonna have taken out of here soon. But she wanted a very, very clear and simple pattern that was bright and white. And so she came up with this. I can't remember what this was called. White Shadow, I believe, is what you directed us toward, White Shadow.
And it's a Dolomite,
Yeah, and she fell in love with it immediately.
Yeah, and then when you showed me the design layout, we were also suggesting you to get this down and then make it level so that you will have more counter space. Just run us through the whole idea of why we didn't get it done.
Well, you did make that suggestion to me, and probably 90 out of 100 people would have went with that suggestion. But I have 7 grandkids that are here in Florida, and they like the whole idea of making ice cream sundaes and splits, banana splits on the high bar, and they fight over the stools, and that's their thing that they do with the cousins and all. And also the logistics of trying to get some of these electrical outlets all taken out. When you guys wanted to make this all one level, then I would have lost some of these electrical outlets. And my wife is an avid baker and cooker, and she's always got, mixers and this and all that. So, and I didn't want to have to worry about the logistics of getting an electrical contractor in versus when the slabs would be completed and cut and when you would go for installation. It was just too much dynamic to deal with. And I decided to let's just swap apples for apples and just go with the high bar and the original design of the kitchen.
Yeah, and then once we did the template, we also sent you a production approval email. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it's amazing because you called me on 2 or 3 occasions about the approval of the final layout. And I said to you, I never saw the final layout. I mean, we had made arrangements for the payment, but I never actually saw the final layout. And so you called me, and I'm glad you did call me, because when we looked at it together, I think you resubmitted it to me or what have you. I wasn't happy with the design on the high bar in particular. There were a lot of shadows and dark stone was there, and there was no continuity, and my wife wasn't happy with it at all. And so when you called and told me this is what the layout's going to look like, and I wasn't happy, my wife wasn't happy, and you made the changes that were necessary so that we would be happy customers in the end after the final product was installed. And I appreciate that follow-up. I think you made 2 or 3 calls to make sure that we were getting what we wanted in the end, and so I appreciate that very much.
And then you also picked the granite composite sink.
Yes, I picked this sink out because I've had metal sinks in the past, and the metal sinks, they rust out and what have you, and even some of the porcelain sinks, with knives and silverware, they chip and all that stuff. So you have suggested that this sink here, and I'm very happy with it. Also, we had a double sink here. My wife wasn't happy with that originally, and that just one basic sink, even without a garbage disposal, because they are problematic as well, and we had to exchange out 2 or 3 of them in the 5 years we were here. So we just went with the basic 1 large sink. My wife is happy. She can wash pots and pans and adequately with the room that she needs. And I just like the whole layout of the sink and everything else. And
So how was your experience till now with this granite composite sink? You like it so far?
yeah, oh, I love it. I love it. And we put a grid in here to protect the bottom of it so that, you know, it looks nice for a long period of time. Very happy. And the other thing I just want to mention quickly, I know there's probably 6 or 7 slabs in here, but you would be hard pressed to really know where the seams are.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to look. Like, here's one of the seams and the cuts right here. Also, right here by the sink, there's another cut right here. But for the most part, when you look at this whole layout and the installation, you're hard pressed really to see where the seams are. And I'm really happy about that as well, too.
That's really good. Thank you.
Now, you had a guy who came who sealed it after the fact, which I didn't even know that was part of the package.
Okay.
And I really appreciated that because I think I had called you and said, some guy's gonna come and seal it. And I hear they charge something like $50 or $70 per square foot to seal it. I'm not paying for that. And you said that's all a part of the package, the original package. And Ron came and he did a wonderful job of sealing it. And I'm just happy from the beginning of the whole process to the end. And the customer service was exemplary. And I really just can't say enough. And I highly recommend KB Countertops.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And your cabinets also look pretty new.
Yeah, that was the other issue. And when I talked to you, I was impressed with your references because you have a lot of people that you deal with. And one of the people you told me about was this guy, Patrick Niaga, who's the owner of Florida General Coatings.
Yeah.
And I called him that day and he made arrangements to come within the next couple of days. And he came in and he looked at the cabinets. And he said it would be a process because they had a cheap laminate on there and it was glue and he'd have to sand it a few times and have to put 3 or 4 different coats on it. But he went through the whole process and I guess he took the doors and the actual drawers out one day, and I think within 10 business days, he had everything all refinished. And cool. As you look at these cabinets, and you know, they're MDF quality cabinets, but to replace all these cabinets probably would have run me about $25,000, $30,000 easily. Yeah. And what he did by just coming in and refinishing the actual doors and the actual drawers, my wife is very happy with the final product. And I'm so happy with his performance and his knowledge and his professionalism that I'm gonna have him paint, and he's under contract already to repaint the entire interior of the house and then the exterior of the house as well.
Ooh. So do you mind me coming back while he's working around the interiors?
No, not at all.
A small shoot?
No, not at all.
Because I'm also, because we recently started a channel called Dream Build.
Okay.
And this is a media channel which is very much particularly focused on only construction. Okay. So anybody who wants to remodel their house, like, you don't need to know anything about it. All you got to do is just need to visit our Dream Build YouTube channel. Okay. And you'll have knowledge of everything. So in that process, we also came across Patrick and the way he works. So we want to document his work. Yes. And then show it out to people to trust more on his work, and then, you know, so that he'll have more business coming to his hand.
Right. Now, as I said to you earlier today, I vet all contractors before I let them do any work in my house. And I vetted Patrick and Florida General Coatings, and just like KB, 5-star, all the way across the board. Everybody said wonderful things about how he was meticulous about his work and he took pride in his professionalism. And I was only going to go with him to handle these cabinets. And I'm so happy that we did. And he did a wonderful job, as you can see by the video, that he did a wonderful job here. Very professional, very personable, very knowledgeable too about paint and how to apply paint properly, and how ultimately to make a painted house or cabinet last for years and years and years without having to go back and redo the job all over again. So I'm very happy with KB Countertops, very happy with Florida General Coatings, and just overall, I'm very happy and very satisfied.
Thank you. And so now that you're in Florida, are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying the tax advantages, number one, of being in Florida. When I worked in my working career, I ended up amassing a few pensions and what have you. But I'm not taxed on any, no state taxes on any of my pensions. My wife is not taxed on her pensions. My property taxes are about 1/4 of what I was paying in New Jersey. The tax advantages serve me very well. So, and the weather's nice, and I don't have to deal with the elements like snow and removing snow and cold weather and all. So, I'm really enjoying my golden years here in Florida.
Nice.
So,
That's really
I'm still a transplant though. My heart is New York Yankees, New York and New Jersey. But for the tax reasons and just the nice weather and all, I'm happy I am here in Florida and retired.
And what is that you generally cook at home?
Well, I don't do a lot of cooking inside the kitchen. My wife is the one that likes to bake and all. I'm the person on my lanai. Almost every other night I'm doing something with barbecue or grilling, and I have a black, what is it called? The Blackstone grill as well. So I do a lot of the cooking outside and she does the cooking inside. But mostly I'm a steak and barbecue person, and that's what I enjoy doing. And you can do that all year round here in Florida. So I'm enjoying that as well too.
So now that this beautiful kitchen is done, when your friends and family come down, what do they say about how it looks like right now?
Well, my grandkids are the only visitors we've had in the last week or two. This whole process, and I want to add that this whole process coming in to see you, getting the reference to Florida General Coatings, this whole process only took about 3 to 4 weeks. To come to fruition. And that's amazing right there in itself. So we haven't had many guests here except for the grandkids, but my daughters have been here and they love it. And we'll hopefully have some family and friends that'll come and notice the difference that we have before and after pictures. And it just upgrades the house and just makes my wife very happy about the appearance.
So tell us a bit about your work, like what you used to do back in New York.
When I worked for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, I was a manager and a contract administrator. And basically what that entailed was that we would write up proposals and write out contracts, and then we would put them out for public bid. And you'd probably get 40, 50 people who would bid on a public contract. And then we would look at a lot of different factors about how we would award the contract. And once we awarded the contract to the successful bidder, my job was to manage that contract and to make sure that, they were doing the work that we were paying them for. Just wage compliance, make sure the work was done safely with OSHA and all their different requirements, and also making sure that, they fulfill their end of the contract. And so I probably had about 25 or 30 service contracts that I oversaw. And I did that for almost 40 years with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. But fortunately, 40 hard years of doing that afforded me the luxury of retiring at 60 with all the different pensions, medical benefits for my wife and I for life, and also the idea that at 60 that I could do whatever I wanted with my time, which is my greatest asset, is my time.
That's very true.
So I'm very happy to be a young man. I'm retired. I'm going to be 69 in another couple of weeks, and I'm retired 9 years on my birthday.
Wow.
What a blessing. God is good.
You don't look 69 though.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty fit.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So what are your plans now being in Florida? What do you want to do?
Well, we're doing a lot of the things, traveling. We're going to Europe and doing a cruise to Europe. We've got a cruise in July with all the grandkids and all of my children and their spouses. We're doing that. So we're looking to do the Grand Canyons and all the different Teton National Park, and we're doing a lot of domestic traveling as well. And we still go back periodically and visit friends and neighbors and relatives in New York and New Jersey. And I have a son that's in New York, and I have 2 grandkids up there. I have 9 in total, 7 here in Florida and 2 in New York and New Jersey. So we spend a lot of time going back and forth. And just hopefully, I'm 69, hopefully God will give me another 15, 20 years and I can just enjoy life and just relax and enjoy my music and my time and my wife and my grandkids, and I've been blessed so far. So
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
All right, thank
for
you,
doing this.
and thank you for the great service and the great job that you did. And I will refer anybody I know to KB Countertops.
Thank you.
All right. Oh my goodness! I don't know if I want to accept this. Why, you don't have. You gave me.
No,
the,
that's okay. No, it's
Thank you very much.
yeah, for your review and your feedback.
Thank
It's
you
a
very
small
much.
gesture.
Thank you, Raj. I appreciate it.
No.